6:30. It's Friday the 21st of August and we're going fishing. So I'm excited for this one. We're heading down to Oxford to Linear Fisheries. This trip's been booked for a long time, like 18 months or so. And it actually should have been my stag do. I was due to get married next month, but due to the pandemic, the wedding's off. But we decided to keep the stag do that's not a stag do, it's just a fishing trip on. So yeah, we booked out half of Brasenose 2. There's a bit of a social, there was 10 of us, there's now 9 of us going. Yeah, so we're heading down and we're going to have a weekend's fishing. We've got Friday till Monday, so we've got 3 nights. Weather's looking pretty good, some good southwesterly winds coming in, quite strong winds actually. And it looks pretty favourable for the area on the lake that I've reserved. So yeah, hopefully we'll get plenty of fish in this video. Alex is coming, Nick's also coming, who's been on some of the previous videos, and then a load of other lads. A guy called Neil, 2 of his mates, which I don't actually know. A couple of people dropped out when it wasn't a stag do anymore, with everything going on. So yeah, a couple of Neil's mates are coming. Who else? We've got Baz, my dad. Yeah, 9 of us in total. So when booking the stag do, those of you that know me will know that I love linear and I love the style of fishing. I love the very active style of fishing, of spodding and fishing at range and moving around the lake and that sort of stuff. Just enjoy getting bites and enjoy the challenge that linear brings really. So that's where I wanted to go and have the stag do, but also to get 9 swims on a lake, or to predict 9 swims on a lake where everyone's going to have a realistic chance of catching a few fish is actually quite difficult when you start thinking about it. You think about the different weather conditions and what might happen at that time of year. Where's an area of the lake that you can get 9 people together that you're all going to have a half decent chance of catching. So I fish down here at all times of year, but in August I fished here quite a lot, particularly on Brasenose 2, Oxley's, and B1 I suppose, are the ones I fish the most in the summer. And Brasenose 2, the riverbank, you get a southwesterly wind blow straight into it, you get a westerly blow down to the bowl, and you get a southerly blow up the channel. So all of that bank pretty much sees fish traffic in any of those 3 different winds. So the idea was to have 9 of us in a row up that bank, hope for a southwesterly, hope that the fish aren't stacked up in the bowl, so the lads up in the channel don't catch, and also I guess hope that it's not a complete southerly or southeasterly and the fish are all stacked up the top end. And as it happens, we've got 40 odd mph southwesterlies due today, southwesterlies due all of tomorrow, swinging a little bit more westerly Saturday evening, Sunday, but yeah, you couldn't really ask for better conditions for that area on the lake. It has been doing a few, I think. Linear's obviously been packed the same as everywhere else has during the pandemic. There's still a lot of people furloughed, so there's still shitloads of people out fishing. I've been watching the website and it's been practically full every night. It's been basically bank holiday every day for 2.5 months now. So it's been seeing a hell of a lot of pressure, but linear always sees a lot of pressure, so it shouldn't make too much difference. There's a lot of fish in the lakes. So in this video we want to show you how we're going to tackle a venue like Brasenose 2, which is pretty much how we tackle all of the linear waters, busy day ticket waters, why we fish where we fish, what bait we put in, how much we put in, when we put it in, all that kind of stuff. Obviously this is a slightly different trip because we've not got to go down and pick our swims completely. Obviously we're going to do a draw to decide who goes in which swims that we've got reserved, but we are in a lucky position this time where we do know that we've definitely got a swim on a certain bank on a certain lake, which is obviously not normal for linear. And hopefully we're going to show you lots of fish as well, lots of action, spodding, casting, get all the other guys on camera. Hopefully some of those catch a few fish as well. There's loads of 30s in the lake, absolutely ridiculous amount of 30s, so it'd be good to get a few of those on camera. and
Yeah.
just generally keep you up to date as to what we're doing and how the trip's going. So I'll catch up with you when we're there, once we've done the draw, and let you know what's going on. Catch you in a bit. No, look good. Don't open it yet. Don't open it yet. The tension is unbearable. It's going to come this way round, as they say, that way. Redraw. What you got then? No, I'll take that. No, I'll take that. You got Neil? Number 1. Oh, yeah. You said I was due good, didn't you? Yeah. What you got, pal? 4. Alright. 6. Remember there's 2,000 fishing here? Only one water. Who's got 2? You have? I've got 2. Oh, you got 2? Okay. Hey. looks a bit like a Himley stocky, doesn't it, with the scaling on it? Not really what you'd associate with B2. Yeah. Right, Dad's just had his first bite. Right hander just ripped off on a solid bag. How's it feel?
Feels nice. Spot on it.
Is that yours? Isn't it?
Side of my bag. Nice rods they are. Alan. Snagging the edge, got to steer it past as well.
How big is it then, Dad? Just over 20. Nice fish.
Nice big scales.
Yeah, nice and long, big tail. Well done, let's get her back. So Dad's just had that 20-pounder. Woodall's fishing next to Dad, so we're just going to come over and see what he's doing. Right, mate?
Wankers swim.
You're live on YouTube. What are you doing? Tying your solid bags up?
Yeah. Need the edge off you, mate.
Let's have a look what we're doing.
I haven't got any small pellets though.
I bet they've got some in the shop.
Yeah, I'll make it up there tomorrow.
Can you crumb? Is that what you're doing? Breaking them up? You can crumb the pellets up as well, can't you? This is Woodall swim. 6th in the draw. Peg 27. Absolute flyer.
Where the fish show a lot, they don't tend to feed when they swim.
Chap next door had 15 fish yesterday. No pressure. So we've just had a call. There's a double take. 25. Nick and Neil. Where are they? Feel like a good fish now. Tell you what, this isn't a bad start.
That net. Good in that net.
Well done, Neil. First fish.
Sent you a swim, Neil. Oh, sorry. Yeah, what am I doing?
Nick, this one's definitely a 30. No, they're all alright, aren't they, Bruce? Have you got another net, Nick? Yeah. Go on. It's a shock. They rip off, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No way.
He's round by me and he went, is that you? I don't know. This week,
And you're going to catch one, kid?
I'm going to catch fish.
For the social. Is it a good one? Is it? Come on, Nick. First 30 of the trip. Big tail on it.
Big linear, isn't
Big ghosty. It's a big ghosty.
A couple shows to me now, but they're long.
There's no. That's a good fish, that, Nick. Oh dear. We'll edit that bit out. Go on, Nick.
That for devotion in the lake, chest raiders.
Get in. Well done, mate. Nice one, that one. There we go.
Put a bit of bait out.
Just one rod left.
Oh. 37.
We'll look at it.
It's just over
Just
30.
Yeah. I'll have to step out of it.
So it's just over, isn't it?
Yeah, just over. Said £30 2, £30 4. Well done, mate.
Yeah, mate, they're mega. It's been a while.
First Brasenose 230.
Yeah. First thing you said, mate.
First video 30. You had one?
Oh, no, it's not.
You had one? How big was he? 19.5. 19.5 pounder. Well done. Number 2.
Top rod.
So Woodall's had this fish on for about 10 minutes now. Weeded him up. This is a noddy and not drop the lead. Solid bag again. So it won't come out of the weed. So he's not going to go in. You get the net under it. So after all that swimming about and hassle,
Oh, where there?
what have we got? What have we got, Whittle?
I think it is
Just under 30?
Sure. Steady, isn't it?
I reckon it was £30. Ah, it's just under. Yeah, just under. 29.12. Well done, Woodall. Get on the maggots.
Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll make sure that's
Lift her up then, we get a bit of video, Woodall. Nice. 12. Well done, mate. Dad's had a couple, Nick's had 4, Woodall's had 1. Yeah, so I think this is the 10th fish so far. We've only been fishing a few hours. So this one's £18, nice clean fish. Just taken on a solid bag. This one was on maggot hook bait and maggots in the bag. We were catching up corn, fake corn in solid bags. It's been so windy, we've just been fishing bags for today. It's starting to drop a little bit now, so we'll get a bit of bait in. But yeah, really good start. 3rd fish, 18-pounder. Happy days. Here we go then. How many is this? Number 3?
Number 3.
How big?
22 and a half.
22 and a half. Just a little bag of maggots. Cast about 50 yards.
15 minutes.
15 minutes away it's gone. There we go, down we go. So yeah, between us I've had 4 now. 7 fish this afternoon, just fishing bags. Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, what a beast. Blowing a hoolie, bit of rain as well now. I haven't got a clue what time it is, probably about 4 o'clock, Friday afternoon, something like that. 3, 4 o'clock maybe. Hello. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of an update for you because I've not spoken to you all day. It's been a mad day, that's why I've not really been on the film talking about what's going on. I've got lots of film from what's happened today, which I'm not sure whether you'll have already seen that or whether we're going to put it in now. But yeah, basically this morning the draw went really well. We came out 5th, me and my dad, and we managed to get our first choice swims. Everyone seemed fairly happy with where they went. We went in 28 and 29, which was the double swim, and then it was the next 2 swims up from that, which weren't the most favourable for today, or we didn't think so, but over the whole weekend we thought they'd be our best bets. So yeah, we got in here really windy today, so we just basically chucked bags out. It was so windy, like 40 mile an hour. A couple of lads attempted spodding. One lad has caught quite well off it, but the majority have struggled, just trying to get it accurate. Yeah, we just went with solid bags, and it's been a really good day. Dad's had 3, I think an upper double and a couple of low 20s, and I've had 6. Nothing under £20.8. I've had a 27. I've had a 27, a 24.10, and I've had a big 34.14. So again, I don't know whether you've already seen that or I'm going to put it in next, because I didn't do an update earlier. We've got loads of footage. We've got footage of me catching fish, my dad. We've got footage of Nick, who's had a 30-pounder along with 6 others. Woodall's been swimming, he got snagged and he had to go in his boxers. So yeah, loads has happened today, but we've just basically been fishing solid bags. And not far out, fishing 50-60 yards max. Like I say, it's been really windy and the fish have been quite close into this bank. So yeah, we've not done anything crazy today. I'll just spin you around if I can and show you. Can I spin you around? No, doesn't like I can. So yeah, I'll update you a little bit more tomorrow. Let you know exactly what we've been doing. Show you the bags. We've been catching on maggots in the bags and just fake corn and pellets. Just standard kind of linear tactics. Just casting at showing fish, casting to areas where they're showing. I say a couple of lads have put bait out and they are starting to catch now. Woodall's just had a double take off bait, and Nick's had 6 or 7 I think now off bait today, and I think Ant's had a couple off bait as well, a bit further up. So yeah, I think that will be the tactic tomorrow. When the winds calm down a little bit, we'll find a spot out there and put some bait out, unless we're still catching well on bags, and I guess there's no reason to change it. But I do think there'll probably be more fish on the cards if we can get some bait out there and get 3 rods on a spot. But yeah, it's been a great day. I'll just quickly show you where we are. So yeah, it's peg 29 on the maps, on the linear lake maps. So it's the big double. It's the next one up from there. Okay, so you've got a lot of open water out in there. Okay, I'll show you here. Yeah, so we've just got 3 rods out there. They're about 50 to 60 yards out, something like that. The wind's dropped a little bit, so I've got a touch further, but I'm not going too far because the fish aren't showing too far. But yeah, Ralph is about. I think he's with my dad at the moment. Loads of bait over here. I haven't even made a mix up yet. I haven't even got the spot rod out the bag. It's just not needed to. So, but yeah, I'll update you properly tomorrow and get you some action on casting, where we're fishing in the swim, a little bit of detail on how we've caught the fish today, and yeah, so you're either going to watch everything we've caught today and what we've been up to now, or you'll have already just seen it. But yeah, either way, enjoy it, or I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch up with you in the morning. Speak to you later. Here we go. There's Baz with his new PB. How big is it, mate?
37.1.
Touch lower, mate. Definitely a Simmo.
Had one before that as well, Baz?
Yeah, 26.8. Do you want one with the Simmo lump on it?
Yeah, get a couple more on that side, and then if you can, please, mate.
That the 26 was absolutely filled the mat with corn.
Did it?
Yeah. Says this one actually, to be fair, is shit and pretty everywhere.
That's absolute unit, mate. Proper unit. There we go, that's it. That's the one, mate. Yeah, they're good, mate. Let's get a couple of the other side.
Proper Simmo side.
Big, powerful fish in there.
Yeah.
That's it looks nice. A little bit of a lump, but it's a nice fish on that side as well.
Yeah. Tell it's been in a sling for a little while.
Yeah. Mind you, it's August, isn't it? They're lively.
Yeah.
tail up a touch. That's it. Whole fish up a little bit. There you go.
Yeah?
Yes, mate. Really good.
There's shit and bait everywhere.
Is that corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn and maize, isn't it?
The width of it.
Properly warm.
So warm, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I'd be foil, isn't it?
Yeah.
More months.
Yeah, but it could be a 40 in the spring. 37.1, did you say?
Chunk of a car.
Yeah, the water's really warm, isn't it? There you go. Back on the corn. Well done, Baz.
Well done, Baz.
That's it. Just need Neil to catch one now. Okay, here we go. Fish number 8 for me. Lost a couple in the night. Just a couple of big pulls, but yeah, nice. 21.10, is it 21.10?
21.10, 21.12, yeah.
Nice scaly fish. Just solid bag. Maggots again. Happy days. Let's get her back. Good morning. So it's Saturday morning, and you'll have you've seen a bit of footage through the night and this morning. So you've seen Baz's new PB, £37.1. So that was great to see. A PB that stood for over 10 years, and he was obviously on the blank going into the night as well. So he had a 26-pounder, which he got some photos of, but I think his camera was playing up. I said to him, make sure you call me if you have anything else. Yeah, a couple of hours later he called me and just said I got a unit in the net, £37.1. So me and Woodall went down, did some photos and got a bit of video of that, so you've seen that. You'll have also seen my dad have a 19.5-pounder just before first light, that was. And you'll have just seen me have a 21.10 scaly fish, which was again on my right hand rod on the bags of maggots. Yeah, so I think I've had 8 now, Dad's had 4. Baz has had a couple, Woodall's on 4, Nick's on 9, I think. Yeah, we must have had probably 30 fish now between us, so it's been a really good start. So yeah, me and my dad have had all our fish so far just on solid bags, just casting solid bags, sort of 50 to 60 yards probably, a couple a bit closer, maybe a couple a bit further. Yeah, we've had all our bites on that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find a spot out there about the same sort of range, and I'm going to start putting some bait in. I'm going to keep 1 on a solid, and I'm going to put 2 on the bait, just on your normal IQ corn rigs, which I'll show you. But yeah, I mean, it might seem a bit mad to come off solid bags being as we catch them, but I feel like you can get more fish and you can catch them quicker if you can get a baited spot going. You haven't got the faff of tying the solid bags, and you can just ping IQD rigs back onto the spot much easier. So yeah, that's the plan. I think Dad's going to keep fishing bags for now. The fish are obviously still out in front of us. So yeah, he's going to keep fishing bags and maggots out there. And I'm going to keep 1 on bags and maggots, and I'm going to ping 2 out onto a baited spot. Yeah, so really good start so far. I think there's been 3 30s, a 29, 28, a few 25s caught. So yeah, really good. I think it's just Neil now left to catch. Everyone's caught something. Just Neil, who's a few swims to the right of me. You know, I'm sure it'll come good for him soon. He's doing everything right. So yeah, so we'll catch you in a bit. See you later. Okay. Yep.
Tough light last night. Never a single fish. Lost one at first light this morning. Then 20 minutes ago I lost one. Rod tip as well. Didn't think it was going to be my day. Then this little one, 27.2. Tore off just after spotting. Hopefully a few more of these today.
10 fish, happy days.
Well done, mate. What are you catching them on?
Just plastic corn, 2 pieces of plastic corn over a heavily fish. Same tactic.
Yeah, it's standard linear fish rod. Show you Nick's swim. Just fishing over to them tall trees over there, isn't it? Corn, Pelleton boilie. Nice fish, mate. Another upper 20. Okay, so we're just putting some bait in, about 25 spoms in now, so I'll just show you what you're putting in. So it's just the usual hemp, corn, boilies, some tigers, yeah, very standard mix. So we're going out 20 wraps, just straight in front of the swim to where the majority of the fish were showing yesterday, and we got 2 rods on that. So we got, yeah, the left and the middle on that, and the right hander's still on a solid bag with maggots. Yeah, see if we can get 2 tactics going. Right, we'll update you, let you know how it goes. Speak to you later. There we go. Fish number 10, 21 pounder. Yep, we're rolling. Here we go then.
Nice.
Another 30 pounder.
Second 30 pounder of the session, 30 pound 8. Playing this one just as I was landing it. With the rod screened off as well. I've got another one waiting in the net to weigh and land, weigh and take some photos of. Second 30 of the session. Happy days,
mate. Mega.
Well happy.
Looking for you. Such a long fish. Has got a bit of a belly on it, but yeah, that drops a belly. That's going to be a mid 30. Proper, mate. Well done. Good work.
Thank you.
One to go. Hello again. Saturday evening. Kicking off again. Quiet all day. You saw me with a low 20 mirror last. A little bit of footage on the bank. Since putting the rods back out. Got one in that net there, which I think is another 30, unbelievably, and that one looks like my first double. So that's fish 11 and 12. Weather's epic, there's fish everywhere. Right, we're going to get them out and have a look at them. Okay, so here's the first of those two fish that you've just seen in the sling. It's my 11th fish, and my second 30 pounder, 32 pound 10. Cracking fish, long, real thick set. Real nice fish. Taken over the bait. A couple of pieces of fake corn on a stiff IQ D-rig. 75 spoms I put there this morning. I've had 2 bites off it so far today. The fish are all over it. What a cracking fish. Right, here we are then. Here's Dad. This is the second one of his double take. The first one was just under 20. And this one was 25.10, so it's Dad's biggest one so far. Nice clean fish. Another one on the pink fake dumbbell hook bait. Fished over a spotted area at about 95 yards, yeah? 23 and a half wraps, or 94 yards, whatever it is. Yeah. Carnage. Woodall's got 2 as well, so between the 3 of us here we've just had 6 bites in about half an hour. Happy days?
Happy days.
Right then, let's get her back. Well done, Dad. Ralphie's over here having a play, chewing a stick now. We've got hardly any rods in the water, but it's all good. Right, catch you in a bit. Good evening. So tonight's update comes live in Alex Woodall's swim. He's just had how many bites? 3 or 4? 3 bites in the last hour, if that. Moved his spot a little bit further out. 10 spoms, double take, 6 spoms, another take. Got a 22 pounder in the sling. It's not far away now. You can't see nothing if I go out there. Here I'll fish your net. You up?
You can just.
If I just stand next to you, you can see, can't you? So yeah, it's been an eventful day. I'm on 13 or 14 fish now. Nick's on 16. Dad's on 5. Loads of fish caught. Here he goes. Bit dark. He's in the net. Get in. Well done, boy. Good morning, guys. Sunday morning now. It's about 6 o'clock, half 6ish. Very quiet night for me and Dad last night. Nothing happened at all. Quite surprising actually. After having those 3 bites, especially those 2 just before dark off the bait, I did expect to have a couple more last night. But for whatever reason, very quiet. Very quiet this morning as well. Not as many fish showing. Alex, who's 2 swims to my right, he had another one in the night. I photographed a 29 pounder for him in the night, real Simmo, right round one. But I think that was the only fish that was caught out of all of us last night. So yeah, very different. Weather's going to change today. It's going to swing to a westerly, which is going to blow from right to left. So I do expect this swim, the swim to my left and my dad's, to fish a little bit better. I'd expect fish to push down here and a little bit closer into this bank. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I've had nothing all night, so I'm going to crank all 3 rods in, just put 3 fresh hook baits on and just ping them all back out onto the spot. Not going to put any bait out yet. I'm just going to give it an hour or so, and then if nothing's happened, although I've put, you know, a lot of bait out there, I will put another 3 to 6 bombs out just to freshen the area up with 3 fresh hook baits out. Like I say, I have had 3 bites off it, so you know, a lot of the bait will have gone. There'll still be some out there, but yeah, I'll put a bit of fresh bait out there. Just show you swim 29. Yes, you got the big double over to my left. There's one's just boshed right in the far side. Oh no, it's not, sorry, it's someone spomming. But yeah, yesterday morning they were crashing over in that slack water over the other side off the back of the wind. They're everywhere, they've been literally showing absolutely everywhere. Yeah, so we're fishing 3 on a spot. Hopefully you can pick this up with the camera. If you just focus on that there, you see 3 lines all pointing out towards the same direction. Okay, they're not actually that tight this session. I usually like to fish them really tight, but with the wind the spomming wasn't super tight. It's probably over a rod length and a half, so the rods are probably, they're probably all 6 to 8 foot apart, where normally I like to get them, you know, 3 or 4 foot apart, but yeah, tight enough. Beautiful morning. So yeah, just over 24 hours to go. 13 fish for me. Woodall's on 7 or 8 now. Dad's on 5. It'd be nice to have a few more. Yeah, here you go. You can see Woodall spomming now. You'll see spom land out there. That's it. So he's fishing 23 wraps out there. He's gone a little bit further. It seems to have made all the difference. Fishing centre of that channel. Right, let's crank these in and get some fresh hook baits on. See if we can induce a bite. Right, speak to you in a bit. So, Dad's just moved his rods a bit further out. 10 spoms over it, and about half an hour later, 40 minutes, right hander's just ripped off. It's about 9:30ish, I think, 9:45, Sunday morning. Nothing's happened down this end yet. It's the first bit of action. Westerly wind just turned, heading down this end, so hopefully we're in for a decent day. Right, we'll update you once it's hopefully in the net. Right, good afternoon. So it's been a quiet day. It's been quite 24 hours really. Dad lost that one this morning. The last video you'll have seen is Dad playing a fish, but unfortunately that one fell off. And it's been quiet, yeah, the weather's changed. It's blowing more of a westerly. It looks really good down here, but yeah, it's just not happened. The lads to my left have had a couple. Yeah, I just think the spot that I'm fishing out there and putting bait in just isn't the one. So I'm having a bit of a change of tactic. I'm not going to persist with that out there. There was a lot of bait went out there. I had 3 fish off it. I'm just not convinced that it's the best option. So I'm going to go back to chucking solid bags. So I just thought I'd show you the rigs. So nothing technical about it. Size 4 wide gape, That one's just got a little pink wafter on, a little bit of fake corn. I've been using maggot hook baits as well, but yeah, dead simple. Drop off in line, 3.5 ounce lead and a little lead core leader. Looks something like that. Okay, you see a little bit of yellow at the bottom there. I'm just chucking them, obviously it's quite windy, so just chucking them about 70 yards or so is where I probably was catching the fish on the first day. This is the rig that we were using when I was fishing out on the bait. So IQD rig, size 4 curve, perfection loop knot, just some balanced corn there, and we fished that on just on a heli safe, just on a lead core leader with I think they're 4 ounce leads on there. Yeah, so we're going to go back to the bags for a bit. I'm going to tie 3. That's the first one tied up. I'm going to tie it's just a mix of pellet and some crumb in there. And yeah, I'm going to for a couple of hours I'm just going to chuck bags just like I was on the first day. I think I had 10 bites doing that, then went to bait and I've had 3 bites and it's got a bit slower for me. So yeah, we're going to give that a go. There's been, I think Nick's just had his 20th fish. Baz hasn't had any more. Ant's had about 7 now. He's lost 4 or 5. Neil's on the 1. Woodall has had another 1 or 2 maybe. I think he's probably on maybe 10 fish now, Woodall is. He's caught right up. Dad's on 5, obviously lost that one this morning. And Ian and Ben to the left. Not sure exactly how many they've had, maybe 12 or 13 between them. I know they've had a few today. Oh, there's one just shown. That's it, that's roughly the line I'm going to put one out. So that spindly tree on its own in the background, just next to the big tree, straight in line with that, about 70-80 yards. So yeah, I'm going to ping 3 solids out there now and see how we get on. Right, I'll update you in a bit. Evening, right, it's Sunday evening, our last evening. It's been a quiet day, as you can see. Success. So I moved, I think last time I spoke to you I was fishing solid bags. That only lasted about an hour or so, and I found a spot 80 yards out, just slightly to my left. 12 spoms out there, 3 rods on it. And yeah, basically after a couple of hours I've just had a double take. One's a near 30 and the other one looks mid 20s. Yeah, so both one on the wafter, one on corn, just over hemp and corn, 1 rod left out there. If we come up here, Woodall's got 1 in the net, so 2 swims down there. How big's yours, Woodall? He's not really looked at it, not sure yet. And then this one, we've got some more carnage. There's a upper double low 20 in the net there. And Dad's into another one. It's bite time. Time is it? About 8? 10 past 7. Yeah. And there's one just showing in the distance out there. Not in our water, but yeah, they've been showing like dolphins tonight all over the place. Right, let's get this one in and we'll show you a bit of video of some of them on the bank. Catch you in a bit. Okay, what was it, 22? 22 and a half?
Just over 22.
Just over 22. So this is the first one of that little flurry you've just seen. So I've had a double take, Dad's had a double take and Woodall's had one. This is the smaller one of mine. The other one might be another 30. This one was just taken on fake corn, 2 pieces of fake corn, a little bit of foam in between it on an IQD rig. Just over my new spot, saw about 12 spoms to start with, then topped up with another 8 or so, and then I had a double take. So yeah, really nice fish, nice and long. Definitely not your typical Simmo. Yeah, we'll slip this one back and get you a bit of footage of the bigger one. Up here, she's not really behaving, so we'll be quick. So this is the second part of the double take, and unbelievably it's my 3rd 30 £30 8. Okay, whoa, I'll just try and get her up once more. She's not behaving at all. So yeah, it's my 15th fish, 3rd 30. Okay, not going to lift her very high because she's one more go.
Come out, Ralph.
Oh,
Ralph.
no, he's alright, he's alright. Okay. There we go. So, £30 8 ounce, fish number 15. 30 number 3 for me. Okay, and I think 30 number 7 or 8 for the group so far. So yeah, brilliant. Right, let's get her back. Evening guys, so it's about 11:15 on Sunday night. Me and Ralph have just got into bed, so it's been another good day. Quite a frustrating day, to be fair. You'll have seen footage from what's happened and the tactics that we've used and the fish that we've caught this evening. So it has been a really good evening. Both me and my dad have ended up with 3 fish each this evening. I went pretty much 24 hours without catching anything or without having a bite. Dad lost one this morning, which you'll have seen, and then yeah, we've had three each this evening, so it's taken our totals to 16 and 8. So yeah, it's been really good. I had another 30 and another 20 and a double, and Dad had, I don't know, 19 and a couple of mid-20s, I think 24 and a 25 maybe. Yeah, so really good. Nick's had 24 fish now, Woodall's had 12. I think we've had over 80 fish, nearly 85 fish as a group now, in 2 days of fishing, or 3 days, going into our 3rd night. So yeah, it's been unbelievable, much better than anyone could have ever thought. So I think I've talked you through some of the tactics that we used. Like I say, I did go onto solid bags briefly today after the baited area that I put out, the heavily baited area, did 3 fish and then kind of dried up, and I just had a feeling that it just wasn't in the right area. The fish was showing like past it and to the left of it, but I just felt like it just wasn't the one. I don't know why. I just had a feeling that it just wasn't the one. I felt like I should have had bites off it and I hadn't. I tried different hook baits and I felt like everything that I usually catch well on here, it just wasn't the one. So I moved the spot, same range but to the left, and instead of being on gravel, it was on like a slightly siltier area, and it was closer to where the fish was showing that looked like they were feeding. And within sort of 2 hours maybe, I can't remember exactly now, it's been chaos, but not long anyway, after putting some bait out and then putting a little bit more bait out. I had a double take and then another take just after that. So yeah, that decision paid off really well. My dad moved his spot out further today. He's fishing a lot closer to where the bulk of the fish have been showing, and he's had 5 takes off that now or something, so that was worth it as well. So yeah, it's been a fantastic day. Neil's just had his 2nd fish as well. We've just all been down. I'll try and edit the photo in. We didn't get any film, I don't think, but I'll try and edit the photo in. We've just all had a photo. He had a 26 pounds 14 ounce, I think it was, so nice mid 20, which is his 2nd fish. He's worked really hard for that, so yeah, we was all chuffed to see him catch another one. Be nice to see Baz have another one tonight, but yeah, everyone's fished really well, and everyone's had, you know, sort of at least a few bites. Everyone's had a few fish, and everyone's had good fish as well. And the average is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've fished the linear complex for years, and this is, in my opinion, the best lake in terms of the size of fish. Yeah, you haven't got your kempies in here, and I understand that people will fish for those fish, and rightly so, but to come down and catch a load of fish, and nice fish as well. They're not, you'll see from the videos, you know, they're not all horrible simmos. They're nice scaly fish and well proportioned long fish. You know, they're not fat horrible simmos, but the average size, I mean, I think I've had 3 doubles now out of 16. I think it's 3 or 4. I think it's 3. 3 30s and all the rest 20s. You know, a lot of those are like 22 to 26 pound. It's ridiculous. I think as a group, out of 85 fish, I reckon there's less than 15 doubles. Everything else is 20s, and I think there's 7 or 8 30s we've had between us. So yeah, it's been a phenomenal trip. My best ever trip to linear. Obviously it was meant to be my stag do. I kind of wish it was my stag do, because it would have been quite fitting to have this kind of session for my stag do, but it's definitely one that we'll remember anyway. And it's not over yet. We've got tonight. The nights haven't been as productive, and then we've got tomorrow morning up until lunchtime. Again, the mornings haven't been that productive for us down here, but we'll probably hang it out till lunchtime anyway, because you never know. But yeah, I think everyone's pretty happy, to be honest. There's a couple of guys, I know Baz and Neil will probably like a couple more, but I think if we went home now, pretty much everybody be happy and has had a good time. So I'll give you an update in the morning, and I'll let you know what's gone on, unless anything massive comes out tonight, and I'll get some video of it. But yeah, we're running really low on battery, on my 3rd camera battery now,
on my DSLR. So that's pretty much going to be used for photos only, because that's almost gone. So yeah, get a bit of video on my phone if we need to. So yeah, bit of a long update tonight, but just filling you in exactly what's been happening and what a successful trip it's been. So I'll speak to you in the morning with hopefully a couple more fish. Catch you later. Good morning. It's Monday morning. So we've done 3 nights now. Quiet night for me. Nothing happened for Dad either. So that's the last 2 nights we've not had a bite through the night. Interestingly, first night I had a couple of bites, I think it was. That was when we had those real strong winds on the first day. And the fish were a lot closer into this bank and had bites just casting bags. But yeah, had those 3 bites, that flurry of action before dark, same as Dad, and then nothing happened after that. So yeah, there's been a few fish showing this morning. Rods are still all on the spot. Got up and put 6 or 8 spoms over both of our areas, just to freshen them up this morning. But yeah, it's looking good for a bite. Ian, to my left, has had 10 or 11. And I think Ben actually had 5 fish through the night, fishing to my left. He's fishing like out into the bowl. He's fishing a bit further than me. He's fishing about 100 yards, Ben is. Yeah, and I think he'd had 2 up until last night, and then went and had 5 in one night, so that's really good angling. One of them was a 31.5 common as well. It's mega, especially for here. There's not that many big commons, I don't think, here. Yeah, so last night, what else came out? Ant, right at the top end. He had a 16-pound something or other, and Woodall. Didn't have anything all night. Then at 6 o'clock had a bite and got cut off, which is kind of, it happens on here. There's lots of snags and weed and other people's line and etc. But yeah, they're fishing like right at the top. You can see a flat spot right in the distance up there, I think. That's one of them spomming. So yeah, we've got the whole of this bank. But yeah, so I think I've ever spoke about my kit. So I use Torx TEs. They're custom built rods. I've got Shimano Techniums. I've actually got 15-pound synchro on this session. Sometimes go down to a 12-pound line and a shot leader if I'm fishing probably up over 100 yards. But for 80 yards, 15-pound line's fine. Obviously TXIs and reasonably heavy bobbins. You'll see, I don't know if you can pick up my lines from here, but it's really important that we're fishing tight together. That's how you build up multiple hits down here. If you're fishing your rods all splayed out everywhere, you know, you'll have one bite and then you'll wait a bit longer for another bite. Fishing like this, if the fish come over you, and obviously your spodding's got to be accurate as well, but if you can get all your spods landing within a rod length and a half, and you can put 3 rods on it, and they're all pointing at that swim over there, literally all 3 rods are pointing at that swim, then when the fish come over you, you're going to not only get one bite, but as you're playing one or as you get one in the net, you're going to probably get another bite and hopefully build up a little bit of a hit. Let's just zoom back out. Yeah, so really nice swim, this one. Like I say, not fished it properly before. I think I did maybe an overnighter in here in like a November about 5 years ago, but certainly not done a proper session on here. Yeah, so got to get packed away a bit. So I've got no battery left on the camera, or very little battery on the camera, enough for some photos if we have another one, but all the film's been done on my iPhone now. So yeah, God knows how many fish. I'll do a video in the car on the way home with a kind of final tally of how many fish we've had, and like a little bit of a roundup. Yeah, unbelievable session. We're on here till lunchtime. It's been quiet down here in the mornings though, but I think we're just going to stick with our spots, the spots that we had bites off last night. Every hour or so, put 2 or 3 spoms out, and just hope that we can nick 1 more each. I've had 16 330s. I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm more than happy if nothing else happens. Dad's had 8 fish, up to mid-20s. Had 2 mid-20s, a couple of low 20s, and then I think a few doubles. I don't remember the exact figures. Yeah, it'd be nice if Dad maybe had a bigger one, but yeah, we're probably just being a little bit greedy, the amount of big fish in here, that's why. But yeah, fantastic session. So I will give you some more film. You'll at least have a going home update, but hopefully you'll have a little bit of film of another fish, whether it be mine or someone around me. Right then, catch you in a bit. Don't know if you can see that. A little bit of rubber, helicopter, D-rig. Roofers, dude. Okay. Right, so here we are, 22.5 pound. A couple of video clips ago, I think you saw me cast down my right hand rod, just with a little bit of plastic, just a recast on the right hand side of the spot. Okay, a couple of spoms over the top, 20 minutes later, 22.5 pound mirror. This is number 17 for me. You've also just seen Woodall re-spomming. He's just had 2 bites, one was a 27, he's playing another one now. And I think you also saw a short clip of Neil playing a fish, which is his 3rd fish. That one was 22 or 21 pound, I think. So yeah, pretty much all 20 pounders. Some nice 20s as well. Real nice clean fish. Taken at 20 wraps, a bit of plastic corn. Very lively. Just quickly show you the other side. Going home soon. Maybe time to nick 1 or 2 more. Yeah. Lovely fish. Another 20. Unbelievable. Right, let's get it back. Here we go then. How big's this one, mate?
21.14.
21.14. So you just had a couple
Number 15.
fish number 15. A couple of clips ago you saw him spomming. He had another take after that. Neil had 2 takes to the right of him. I've just had 1. Kicking off. Another 20.
Almost time to go home.
Yeah. Well done, mate.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, here we go then. Here's Nick with number 20.
Number 24.
Number 24.
In the session if it's the last one.
How big?
£29 2.
Another 29 pounder.
Same tactics as before. Fake sweet corn over a big head of hemp. Sweet corn.
Happy days, mate. Mate, it looks really nice. It's a really nice shaped fish, isn't it?
Shape fish, proper.
What was it?
Simmo shape.
29 2?
29
2? Happy days, mate.
Well chuffed.
Well done. If that's the last one, a good one to end on. Well done, mate. So Nick, what was you out the draw? Second? Second out the draw, went for peg 25. He's been top rod. Easily top rod, to be fair. 24 fish. He's absolutely smashed it. Fish really well up here. Yeah, there's been fish up here most of the session, but he has had a few quiet periods. But when they've been on him, he's made the most of it. Happy days, mate. Well done.
Cheers, man.
Here he is. He's into another one.
Catfish master.
Catfish master. 3 spoms on the spot. Literally just winding the spom in and it ripped off. yeah. Right. Hopefully we'll get this one in the net. Big ghosty to finish. Take the £20. Right, we've just pulled out the gates at Linear. Seems like quite a long time actually since we got here. 3 days. My longest session at Oxford. Longest session fishing in the UK for a long time. A couple of years since I've done 3 nights out fishing. So yeah, and it really does feel like we've been there a while. The last clip you saw was Dad playing a fish this morning. Unfortunately, that was the last bit of action, and it did come off. There was some weed, quite a thick weed bed in the edge, and there must have been mussels in there because it cut straight through. £20 IQ, right in the edge, which was unlucky. Yeah, so to finish on a loss wasn't very nice for him, but he ended up with 8 fish and lost 3, I think. So he was happy overall. But yeah, it's been a fantastic session, far better than I think any of us could have imagined, really. Like I said to you at the beginning of this video, trying to arrange a social where everybody's got a good chance of catching, there being a good average size of fish, and yeah, basically everyone enjoying themselves and no one blanking is quite difficult, and it couldn't have gone any better. We have had good weather, especially the first 24 hours. I know looking back at some of the video, it's quite windy on some of those clips and you probably can't hear a lot. It was really howling, but the wind slowly eased down through the session, but the action kept coming. I mean, it wasn't crazy, you know, it wasn't mental. It was like little spells, like you'd have like 2 or 3 fish in an hour and then you'd go 12 hours without fish. This morning I had one this morning, I think I've had one this morning, a 20 pounder, low 20, but then there was fish showing over me just and near me, and I hung on for an extra hour or so and just couldn't get a bite. You know, so it is a little bit patchy in terms of when they feed, but when they decide to feed, like, it's just carnage. You know, last night 3 pegs in a row all having a double take, you know, at exactly the same time. It was just madness. So yeah, I spoke to Woodall on the phone a couple of weeks ago and I said, do you reckon we could catch 50 fish as a group? And bear in mind, you know, I said to him, you know, there's a good chance someone's only going to have 1 or 2, which did happen, and then someone might catch a few. But you know, do you think we could get to 50? It works out at 5 or, you know, 6 fish each, whatever it is. And he was just like, nah, I don't think we'll catch that many. And I was just like, oh, I think we could if we get good weather. So anyway, we ended up as a group between the 9 of us catching 94 fish in 3 nights, which I'm really pleased with. I think it's pretty good going. I think we've all fished well as a group. I mean, there's lads there's 2 or 3 people, 4 people that have never even been to linear before, let alone B2. So the whole kind of, you know, casting and everything's quite new to them. I mean, Baz went right up the top in the narrow end because he was more comfortable with the range. Yeah, some of those lads that have never been there before, I think fished really well, and they all caught fish. So yeah, I'm going to try and get everybody's catch report numbers right now. I haven't spoke to everybody in detail, so apologies if I get some of this wrong. So we'll start from the big double down the bottom. So you had Ian and Ben, which I don't know these guys, it's the first time I've ever met them, and Ben has fished for a while. I think Ben's a carp fisherman. Ian is fairly new to carp fishing, I think. So Ian ended up with 10 fish, and he had a 30, which was a PB, so he was absolutely chuffed. Ben was on 2 fish going into the last night, and he had 5 fish through the night last night, so he ended up with 7, and he had a 30-pound common as well, so he was over the moon. Then you got me. I had 17 and lost 2, 3 30s up to 34, 14. So yeah, really happy. And then my dad managed 8 fish, lost 3, so 11 takes. And I think he had a couple of doubles, a couple of low 20s and a couple of mid 20s up to sort of just under 26, I think. So yeah, really happy. The average stamp of fish was ridiculous. I don't know how many 20s we had as a group, but you know, it was far more than we had doubles. I'm sure we had less than 10 doubles out of 94 fish. So yeah, that was good. Then you got Woodall next to my dad. Woodall did really well because he started off quite slow, and then he moved his spot a bit further, and things came good for him, and he ended up with 15 fish, and he probably lost 3 or 4 as well. So yeah, he ended up with probably a similar amount of takes to me, 18, 19 takes. And Woodall got a little bit not unlucky with the size, because you know they're all big fish that we're catching. But I think he had 3 29-pounders, a 28, 20, a couple of 27s. He had a really good average size, Woodall did. Not too many doubles and loads of 20s, including a couple of real big 20s. So yeah, he just missed out on a 30-pounder, but it is just being greedy. You know, if we'd have only had 1 or 2 30s as a group, we'd have been chuffed. But I think we just it was just becoming the norm that you get a bite and you get a 20-pounder. It was ridiculous. After that was Neil. Neil fished really well. I think Neil just got a little bit unlucky. He'll hate me for reminding him of this, but he come first out of the draw, and he was just, I think on that first day the wind was hacking into that bank, and I'm glad I didn't come out first. I mean, I'd have gone in the same swims, but I've got a bit of experience on the lake, and I kind of knew where I wanted to be. But I think if you don't know the lake so well and you come out first, it's quite a difficult choice, because you know, obviously you'd expected to pick the best area, and I think he did the right thing in going in the middle. The fish were showing either side of that area, and you know, there were definitely fish there, but for whatever reason that swim just didn't seem to have the fish in front of it as much as others. He ended up with 3 fish, and I think he lost 1. And I think he had a 26, a couple of 26s maybe, and a 21 or something like that. Yeah, and we had that little group picture last night when he had that 26-pounder. He worked really hard for that. We was all chuffed for him. So yeah, Neil had the 3. Then Nick absolutely smashed it. Nick fishes, or he's fished linear for a number of years, doesn't fish there a lot. You know, he gets a session or two in every year, similar to me probably, maybe not quite as much. But yeah, he's had some good sessions on linear before. But yeah, this was his best session by far. He had 24 fish, don't know how many he lost, maybe 4, 5, something like that. And Nick had 2 30-pounders, and the last fish you'd have seen on this video was a video of Nick's 29.2, I think it was. Nice fish, Simmo looking fish, but he got a nice frame on it. It wasn't like a round one, he got big shoulders on it, but all nice fish. So yeah, he finished with a nice fish as well there. So yeah, Nick's absolutely over the moon. He got the 20 quid for the most fish. Then you got Ant. Ant's never fished linear before. I don't think he's fished linear at all. Certainly not B1 or B2. He's used to quiet syndicates in the Cotswolds. Very different fishing, but he really enjoyed it. He got unlucky. I think he had 8 fish and he lost 9. Nothing he was doing wrong, he just got some weed in front of him, quite bad weed, and there was like a mussel bed which Baz had in front of him as well, so they were getting cut-offs and hook links going and stuff. So yeah, he got a bit unlucky, but he had 8 fish up to mid-20s. And then the last one, Baz at the top. So Baz fished linear a couple of times before, but Baz does a lot of lure fishing, not a lot of carp fishing, so it was quite new to it. Not new to him, but just doesn't do a lot of it, especially not kind of fishing at range, spodding and that kind of stuff. So yeah, he opted for a smaller swim at the top where he didn't have to fish as far out and he could just fish his own style a bit more accurately, which I think was the right thing. There was definitely fish up there, more so the first half of the trip than the second. But yeah, that first night he had a 26.5 pounder, and then he had that big fish that you'll have seen, the 37.1, I think it was, 37.2, can't remember exactly. Yeah, but it was a big old fish. It was a PB that had been smashed, that has stood for over 10 years, and he won the 20 quid for the biggest fish. Yeah, and it was good to see Baz. I used to work with Baz when we lived in France in 2011. So yeah, it's good to catch up with him. So yeah, it was a really, really good trip. I wish it was my stag do. Obviously, I wish obviously we was getting married next month, as we should have been. But also, it'd have been quite a fitting stag do to have such a good session, because, you know, I can't imagine us having that session again. It was just unbelievable. But yeah, we're going to arrange it again for next year, which will be my actual stag do. I think all the same people will want to come. Everyone's really looking forward to doing it again. Yeah, so I'm going to go home now, get all the video off the camera and the phone, and somehow put it all together. I'm not very techie with that, so it's only my 3rd or 4th attempt at doing it. This will be the biggest video so far. Hopefully you'll see everything that we've done and you enjoy it. There's not as much techie stuff in there, you know, there's not really much rig talk and that kind of stuff, but I wanted it to be a bit more action. You know, you want to watch people catching fish and casting and spomming and that kind of stuff. There was a little bit in there about why we were doing certain things, and I talked a little bit about why I opted for solid bags first, and then when I went to bait, and then I moved the spot, and there's a little bit of that in there. And maybe I think in the future I'll do another video talking a little bit more about if you were going to a lake, especially linear, why you would pick a certain area and a certain lake, and what kind of homework you could do before you go to give yourself the best chance. But I'll talk about that on another video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully there's lots of action and it all comes out okay. And I'll catch up with you when I record my next video. I haven't got any other sessions planned. Yeah, no, nothing planned at the moment. Joined the new syndicate in Oxford last month, which hopefully I can get a session in for maybe my birthday in a month or 2. But yeah, we're going to get home and get back to work, and going away for my girlfriend's birthday next week. Yeah, obviously no wedding, but yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Thanks for watching. See you later.